Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Girivaradhari Jai Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Radha Radhanath Radha Radhanath Radhe Jai Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jai Giri Govardhan Jai Gauranitai Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Privaracharya Sadasara. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Jaya Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Privaracharya Sadasara. Srila Bhaktisanta Saraswati Maharaja ki jai. Ananta Goti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Radhanath ki jai. Shriman Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Giriraj Govardhana ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Go Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So today we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 22, Text 63. It's the last text in the chapter. Krityodvaganas pambes Trailokya tatra tatraha Pravista karna randreshu Srinam Rama Satam Iva Krityodva Gitaya Pumbes Trailokya Tatra Tatraha Pravista Karna Randreshu Srinam Rama Satam Iva Krityodva Gitaya Pumbes Trailokya Tatra Tatraha Pravista Karna Randreshu Sriram Rama Satam Eva. May I repeat? Udvagitaya Pumbes Trailokya Tatra Tatraha Pravista Karna Randreshu Srinam Rama Satam Eva Udvagitaya Pumbes Trailokya Tatra Tatraha Pravista Karna Randreshu Srinam Rama Sutamiva Mataji Sodva Kitaya Sambis Trailokya Tatra Tatraha Pravista Karna Randreshu Srinam Rama Sutamiva Gitaya Pumbes Trailokya Tatra Tatraha Pravista Karna Randreshu Srinam Rama Satam Eva. Very good. So we'll do the word for word. Kritaya, by reputation. Urvagitaya, by loud declaration. Pumbhi, by the general public. Trilokya, all over the universe. Tatra tatra, here and there. Ha, suddenly. Pravistaha, entering. Karnarandreshu, in the oral holes. Strinam, of the women. Rama, Lord Ramachandra. Satam, of the devotees. Eva, like. So translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Throughout the whole universe, in the higher, lower and middle planetary systems, Prithu Maharaj's reputation was loudly declared, and all ladies and saintly persons heard his glories, which were as sweet as the glories of Lord Ramachandra. You may repeat. Throughout the whole universe, in the higher, lower and middle planetary systems, Prithu Maharaj's reputation was loudly declared, and all ladies and saintly persons heard his glories, which were as sweet as the glories of Lord Ramachandra. So purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In this verse, the word Srinam Rama is significant. It is the practice among ladies to hear and enjoy the praises of certain heroes. From this verse, it appears that Prithu Maharaj's reputation was so great that the ladies all over the universe would hear of it with great pleasure. At the same time, his glories were heard all over the universe by the devotees, and they were pleasing to Lord Ramachandra's glories. Lord Ramachandra's kingdom is still existing, and recently there was a political party in India named Ram Rajya Party, which wanted to establish a kingdom resembling the kingdom of Ram. Unfortunately, modern politicians want the kingdom of Ram without Ram himself. Although they have banished the idea of God consciousness, they still expect to establish the kingdom of Ram. Such a proposal is rejected by devotees. Prithu Maharaj's reputation was heard by saintly persons because he exactly represented Lord Ramachandra, the ideal king. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brinavaneshwari Vrishabhanusate Deve Pranamami Hare Priye Vanchikalpatarubhescha Kripasindubhevacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, dear devotees, this is a very nice verse and purport, extolling the glories of Prithu Maharaj and Lord Ramachandra at the same time, because Prithu Maharaj is actually compared to Lord Ramachandra in the way he executed his service in ruling the citizens, like that. So we see that Prithu Maharaj, he came after King Vena, and King Vena was actually a very cruel leader, and he basically did all atrocious things, and in this way, the citizens were not happy, right? Especially the Brahmanas, and then they came up with a plan, how to actually get rid of him and install a pious king on the throne. So in this way, this is what they did. They chanted some mantras, and King Vena basically, left his body, and from his bones they churned the form of Prithu Maharaj, right? And we know that Prithu Maharaj is a Shaktivesh avatar, and in this way he ruled very nicely. So, King Vena basically wanted to defy the existence of God, and how did he do that? By stopping all Vedic sacrifices, right? And he resembles actually the modern day leaders of today's society who wants to defy the existence of God by a process called atheism, that there is no God in existence, right? So this is going on all over the world. In some countries, the rulers are God conscious, but in most countries they are not, right? So so in this way, we find that Prithu Maharaj is actually compared to Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra, why? Because, his opposition was Ravana, and Ravana wanted to rule as well. He was a great king of Lanka, and he actually stole he basically kidnapped Sita Devi, right? And in this way, his lust was so great that he wanted to enjoy women, from basically all over wherever he went, and he found a beautiful woman, and he would, basically seduce them in this way. So, but unfortunately for Ravan, he was cursed, in that he tried to seduce a female who was actually a devotee and was practicing great austerities, right? And he went up to her and he broke her austerities, and he wanted to enjoy with her. And then, her husband came on the scene, and he cursed, who was also a Maharishi, and he cursed the Ravan, that if you try to force yourself on another woman, you will be dead. You give up your body. So in this way, Ravana was very cautious that he did not try to enjoy Mother Sita, because, he knew what the consequences were. But on the other hand, he kidnapped her, and he tried to persuade her, to come into his, basically, on his side, and she totally refused, and she says no, right? Because my Lord is Lord Ramachandra. And so like this, we find that there's always godly persons and there's demoniac persons, like this. That was there at that time in Treta Yuga, and it's also in Kali Yuga. So this is going on, right? We get the saintly devotees, and then we get the non-devotees, or the basically in the category of scientists, and who actually pose very learned, but they don't know the fundamental teachings of you are not this body, right? That's the ABC of spiritual life. You are not this body. But these highly educated scientists, they basically use word jugglery and create so many theories like this. But the simple, basic principle understanding of that we are not the body but spirit souls, that they do not know. So, in this way we see that Prithu Maharaj, when he was reigning, he was God conscious, and he was so munificent to all the citizens, right? And he was very merciful, like Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gauratishay Namaha. That Lord Chaitanya is so munificent that he came to propagate love of God, to give love of God freely to whomever and whoever. Krishna Prema Pradayate, right? And his color was molten gold, Gaura, right? His color was molten gold, like this. And we find that, Prithu Maharaj was of the same category, that he wanted all citizens to be God conscious, and he himself, was so much in tune with the Vedic literatures. So, in the Padma Purana, we get this nice verse describing the holy names of the Lord, right? Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Sudha Nichamukta Binatva Namanamino. That these names of Krishna are so powerful, right? Nama Chintamani. What is Chintamani? Chintamani is like a touchstone. Whatever you touch with the touchstone, it turns into gold, right? So Nama Chintamani. So this holy name is like Chintamani. It is like a touchstone, because when one chants it, right, whether one is a sinner or whatever he may be, he transforms into a saint, right? Just by the chanting of the holy name, the sound vibration of the holy name, which cleanses the heart, right, of the sinner and transforms. All of us sitting here, we're sinners, right? Or we're trying to become devotees, right? And by the process of chanting the holy names, and we can see like 10 years back, 20 years back, what we were and how we have transformed into devotees like this. So in this way, this is the effect of the holy name, Chintamani. It is like Chintamani, right? And this name Chintamani, it comes up in the Brahma Samhita. Chintamani prakara sadma sukalpa vriksha laksha vrite susurabhira vipalayantam lakshmi sahasra satasambrama sevyamanam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So Chintamani, that the ground is made of in the spiritual world. This verse is describing the spiritual world and how the ground is made of touchstone, right? So valuable jewels like this. So, we can compare it to, whenever we hear the name Chintamani, we can compare it to the holy names. Yes, the holy name is like Chintamani. It is like a touchstone, because it can basically, whatever it touches, it can transform that person into gold. Right? We are all like iron now, right? And when the holy name touches us, then we transform into gold. How beautiful is that? Haribo. Yeah. So, Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, right? So Krishna Chaitanya is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rasa means mellow or sweetness, right? Vigraha means form. So the form of Lord Chaitanya is so sweet, right? And also the holy names are so sweet, right? Because it's not different from Krishna. And we find that there's a song that Bhakti Charuswami always sings, right? Adharam madhuram, vadanam madhuram, nayanam madhuram, hasitam madhuram, hridayam madhuram, gamanam madhuram, madhuradhipate akhilam madhuram. So, Shri Radharanath ki jai. So Krishna is giving us his audience right now. Right? He's very beautiful, so we can meditate on his beauty like this. And this beautiful song is actually describing Krishna's adharam madhuram. Krishna's lips are so sweet, right? And when he touches it to the flute, then beautiful music comes out of the flute, right? That's how sweet the sweetness of Krishna's lips are. And vadanam madhuram, his face is so sweet. When the gopis look at Krishna's face, they become stunned with ecstasy because he's so beautiful, right? And nayanam madhuram, his eyes are so sweet. It is compared to lotus petals, right? Nayanam. Hasitam, his smile is so sweet. So it is described, in some scriptures that we should not look at the smiling face of Govinda because he will steal our hearts and he will actually remove all our material desires within the heart. So this is what devotees want, but for a materialist, they don't want to remove the material desires from their heart. So they say, don't go to the banks of Keshigat because there you will see Govinda and then your life will become transformed like that. But obviously for devotees, we want this to happen, right? That our hearts become transformed and we constantly look at we take darshan of the Lord in order to get rid of our material desires like this and become attached to Krishna. Hridayam madhuram gamanam madhuram. His heart is so sweet, right? And his gait is so sweet. The way he walks, is so sweet. Gait means his walk, his movements are so sweet. So like this, when Krishna is herding the cows, and he comes back from, herding the cows, and when he's walking towards his house, and all the gopis are looking, right? Some are standing on the balcony, some are, peeping through the doors and windows, and looking at Krishna, and the way he walks, is so enchanting, and that most of them, they basically, they faint just by looking at Krishna's movements. So like this, Krishna is so, so beautiful, we don't have words to describe him, right? But I'm just trying to recite from scripture how beautiful Krishna is, like this. So then the other words in that song is Purna Sudha. Purna Sudha means complete, right? Like in the Srimad, we get this verse, Om Purnamadha Purnamidham, right? So Krishna is completely complete. He's complete in all respects. So like this word Purna means Krishna is complete, right? And Sudha means he's pure, antiseptic, right? He's so pure that no material elements can touch him. Maya cannot touch him. The three modes of material nature cannot, they will come close to Krishna and they'll just bounce off. They cannot actually touch Krishna because Krishna is so pure, right? Now we, on the other hand, we become attracted to Maya very easily, right? So every little thing, we are basically attracted to. And in this way, we are not completely pure, right? And we're trying to become pure devotees, but we are not completely pure. And in this way, if there's some little thing that will agitate us, then very quickly we become agitated and go towards Maya. Because Maya is standing just behind Krishna, and she's waiting for one move that we make wrong, and she can snap us, and she can get us. So in this way, we should be very vigilant in our Krishna consciousness, not to be affected by Maya, like this. So in this way, when we actually try consciously to to be more Krishna conscious and not be affected by Maya, then, Maya will take a back seat and she'll say, well, this devotee, is good, or she's good. She's trying very hard to get Krishna, and then she gives all her mercy as Yoga Maya, and then we'll be able to reach Krishna like this. So in this way, we should try. We should try very diligently to actually get Krishna rather than Maya. So the other words in that song is Nitya Mukta, eternally liberated, right? So the holy name is eternally liberating. And whenever you associate with the holy name, then you're basically on a transcendental platform. You're not in this material world. You're on the transcendental platform, whether in kirtan, like Prabhu was leading such a beautiful kirtan just now, right? And you're just relishing the holy names like this. So when you lead kirtan, when you're chanting japa like this, so in this way, you can, you're basically in the transcendental world, right? You may be in this world, but you're not of it when you're associating with the holy names of Krishna, like that. So actually, while Prabhu was singing, and I was also singing afterwards, and then I was thinking about this verse because I'm going to speak about it, right? And I was thinking about this thing and relishing the holy names, how pure the holy names are, like this. So even like when we in kirtan, when we chanting japa, we can think about this verse and we can actually relish the holy names. Yeah, so Binatva nama namino. Binatva means being non-different. So Krishna and the holy name is non-different. Nama namino, the person and Krishna are one and the same. It's non-different. So we should meditate like this. Yes, Krishna is a person and his name is Krishna. So, there are many incidents that I know of where Krishna, with his holy names, how he saved devotees just by them chanting the holy names. Like one of my friends, she was being attacked. She was chanting outside in her yard, and then there was this guy who was timing her, and he came into the yard to actually steal or whatever, and then he attacked her, and he pulled on her clothes, and she was chanting, and then she just started screaming. She started, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, and then she was just screaming for Krishna's name, Krishna, Krishna, and she was screaming so loud that the neighbors heard it, and they all came out of their houses, and like, what's going on? And she ran towards the front of the house. She was in the back of in the backyard, and she ran to the front yard, and she was screaming and chanting Krishna's name. And this guy, he suddenly just left her and he ran away. So in this way, we see that how Krishna is in his name. When you chant Krishna's name, Krishna is there. He's there. He's ready to protect you in whatever circumstances. So we should, have faith that Krishna is in his name. Krishna is his name, and in this way, we by listening to classes like this, coming to Srimad Bhagavatam classes, we actually gain more faith in the holy names, right? Just by hearing about the pastimes of Krishna, by hearing about descriptions of the holy names, we actually get more faith in the holy names like this. So therefore, from whoever is speaking and from whatever realizations they may have on scripture, one should attend class, right? Nasta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloka bhakti bhavati naishtaki. So just by hearing the pastimes of the Lord and attending the classes on Srimad Bhagavatam, then all material desires are destroyed in the heart, right? Nasta prayesh, it's destroyed like this. And there's another verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.14. Apana shamsistam goram yanama vivasho grinan tata sajja vimuchyate yad bibeti swayam bhayam. That's the holy names, or the living entities which are so entrapped in this material, in the meshes of material life, can get relief even once by unconsciously chanting the holy name. Unconsciously, if one chants the holy name, he can get relief of all material distress like this, and he can, make his life perfect, right? Just by unconsciously chanting. So what to speak of devotees who are consciously chanting the holy names of Krishna, right? Apana means living entities who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death, can get relief by chanting the holy names even unconsciously, right? Samsrista means like samsara. We say samsara. Samsara means birth and death, right? So we sing in the morning, samsara dhava nalinita loka, right? So we have to get out of this blazing fire of material existence, right? And so samsrista means samsara, from the complicated meshes of birth and death. Ghoram, right? Complicated meshes. Nama vivasho, by unconsciously chanting the holy names. Vivasho means unconsciously chanting the holy names of Krishna. Tato sadhya, at once or immediately, just by unconsciously, immediately, on the spur of the moment, if one says Krishna, even unconsciously, he gets freed from the entanglement of birth and death. Vimuchyate means to get free. Bibeti is fear, right? Swayam, personally, and bhayam, fear again. So even fear personified is afraid of the holy names. We become afraid by so many things, in this material world, right? An image may just rock up, and we become scared, or something, whatever the case may be, however we become scared in this material world. But here it is being described that even fear personified is afraid of the holy names, like this. So why is he afraid of the holy names? Because just by this chanting of the holy names, the living entities, they become death-free, and they're no more afraid of death. People are mostly afraid of death, and I don't want to die, right? Why they don't want to die? Because they want to enjoy in this material world, right? They think that if I die, then there's no enjoyment, I become nothing. This is the mentality of most people. They're voidism, right? Voidism. So they think that if I die, I become nothing and I cannot enjoy. So I don't want to die so I can enjoy in this material world. So this is fear, the fear of death, right? But even death is actually afraid of Krishna, Krishna's holy names. So this is how powerful, sweet, and beautiful at the same time. And when you constantly chant Hare Krishna, the holy names, then you relish its sweetness. It tastes very sweet, actually. So in this way, this is the way the exalted devotees of the Lord describe the holy name as being very sweet. And one can taste its sweetness by constantly chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I don't know how many of you have actually come to this point, when you're chanting, maybe on a 64-round day, when you're chanting 64 rounds, right? And you or maybe 32, whatever. And then when you start chanting and you come to 16 rounds, you don't want to stop. Does this ever happen to you? You just want to keep going. But, yes. Sorry? I also stop. Sometimes we don't want to stop, right? We just want to continue chanting. But then we have services. We have to go and do our services like this. So like this, this is because we have some taste for the holy names, right? Where you come to the point where you don't want to stop chanting. You just want to go on and on and on. But we have to stop, because service is calling or something is happening and we have to stop. But if we want to relish the holy names, then we should chant where we don't have service that day, right? And just continue chanting the whole day. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I'll stop here now. We have a few minutes. We can, if there's any questions or comments, you're most welcome to do so. Raghunath Bhatta Prabhu. Give us your realization on chanting Hare Krishna. Raghunath Bhatta Prabhu is a very advanced devotee in our society, so
Hare Krishna.
You can share something with us.
Thank you very much, Ranga. On the holy name you're talking about, like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur saw it differently, and his instruction was to chant 64 rounds a day. Mm-hmm. And it may not be practical for us now, but in his time, there were some devotees who were very busy. So then the devotees will say, there were devotees who were thinking that how will we chant 64 rounds if we're very busy? And then they went to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur saying, well, some devotees are busy, but Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati saw their service as that 64 rounds of chanting. Mm-hmm. That's how he looked at it. So, because there were different levels. They were not like there were 4 rounds, there were 8 rounds. They were like people would chant different number of rounds. But Prabhupada's prescribed 16 rounds minimum. So he may have adjusted it because he's the Acharya. He could adjust it. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur saw it a little differently, and he saw that the devotees were chanting the 64 rounds by keeping themselves engaged fully from the morning till the night. And that's one point. The other point was about the energy. We are not completely pure. We have to be very careful not to be affected by Maya. But you see, everything comes from Krishna. Everything is spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Just like Prabhupada gave a very good example of the, the electricity or the energy coming. It's cooling the fridge and it's heating the stove. But it's the same energy. So the energy is the same, but it just acts differently. Where when it and then all everything is spiritual in one sense. Mm-hmm. So that was another point. And yes, we have to be careful of Maya. Like someone like wrote me the other day. Some devotee had some challenges, and he wrote the 9 to 99. You know what it means? From 9 to 99, sense gratification. And he's talking about that other person. I said, no, it applies to us, not to that person only. It applies to all of us. It's not applying to that person who had fallen down. But you're not looking at that he had rendered service so nicely for like maybe 60 years or 50 years or so. But one small mistake, then you have to be careful, because when you do that, then you are under the control of Maya, just by, bringing that subject matter up. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you very much. Talking about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, although Prabhupada gave us a minimum 16 rounds, but we should try to come to 64 rounds, in this way. Or whenever the time provides, we should actually chant more rounds. Even if it's not 64, 32, 48, whatever. We should try to come up to the level of 64. So, yes, that's true. If you have nothing to do, then it's okay. You can just chant the whole day. But we have so many services throughout the day like that. So, yeah. And the other point you made was, we should be extra careful about Maya. But Maya is there, and she can attack at any time. And she's just waiting for a little inattention, and then she's ready to pounce on us. So, we shouldn't, for the devotees that actually fell down or fallen, we should not look at them with a bad eye. We should actually pray for them to come back to Krishna consciousness like this. So, in this way, we can save ourselves, because if you do not pray for that devotee and you talk ill about that devotee, then what happens? Maya will test you in the same way that, tested that devotee, and you may make it or you may not make it, So, we should not talk ill of devotees who actually have fallen down, right? Because then Maya is going to say, okay, let's watch what you do in this situation, right? And then she will attack you like that. So, anything else? Gaurabhumi Mataji, you speak very well. Let's hear something from you. Any realization of the holy names, anything?
The easier it gets, the harder it gets. I was actually just thinking, one of the verses coming up speaks about Maharaja's Prithu's, he's performing austerities and he's doing pranayama, and I was just reading a bit ahead, and Prabhupada is speaking about, yes, the process of pranayama is there, but for the devotee, it is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and that's the only thing we should do. So actually I was just experimenting in the week. I was having a bit of anxiety. So it's natural when you're anxious you can't chant. It's very hard when your mind is everywhere to settle down, to focus, and to just, be with Krishna. Because we're just conditioned in that way that it's a big struggle. So I actually tried to, and there's like this in like psychology and mindfulness, there's, breathing exercises to manage your anxiety. So I tried chanting intentionally in a very slow way with my breath. And it
works.
It works. So it was very interesting. I was actually just thinking then, how much we'd, in one sense, advance, in inverted commas, if we chanted as slowly as possible. Because a lot of the time we chant mechanically to finish our rounds and to carry on with everything. But now and then, if we actually just did it as slowly as possible, it would be something.
Yeah. Yes, sure. Right. So yes, actually, when you breathe, take in deep breaths and chant, you'll find that you'll be able to concentrate. To hear better the holy names and to focus more on the holy names. If you take deep breaths and release like that. So breathing is very, very beneficial when one is, especially meditating or, in our case, chanting the holy names. And Ram Govinda Swami, he makes this point also, that we should, in order to hear better, we should actually take deep breaths. Because when you're taking deep breaths, then oxygen goes into our lung, and it basically pervades our cells in this way. This is my take on it. And in this way, we become more conscious of hearing the holy names. So Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.